8:37, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Welcome on into the gang of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who's 5?
Well, we can't. We tried to kick Murphy out, but he won't.
Oh, I see.
And
he said now that he's going to afternoons, these opportunities are going to be few and far between.
that's exactly right.
Hey, Joan.
Hi.
Hey, Johnny B. Hey, brother.
So,
sorry. Is that your line? I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, in these segments, the less I speak, actually, the better they turn out, which is kind of weird.
What'd you say?
That's exactly right, Joan. By the way, I also want to throw some love to Johnny and Joan, because you two, and I do it all the time, so whatever. But I mean, you guys also do fantastic work. Joan, of course, I hired you a long time ago, then left and then came back. And John, you've been here forever. So you two are so fantastic to work with as well. Both of you remain on the morning show. Ken Weaver's schedule does not change either. So people were asking about whether Weaver was going to change shifts. It's like, no, he's not. He's going to stay where he is, and Joan's going to stay where she is.
I'm so excited.
Did you catch that?
Are you hawing?
Yeah. Johnny was hawing.
Did you haw?
I did a haw.
I didn't know if that was you or Joan doing the Ken Weaver haw.
I thought it might have been a Joan doing
I have to practice.
Well.
I have to practice my haws.
Are you? Chris actually thought, Johnny, that you were a girl doing the Ken Weaver haw.
Oh.
Okay, I didn't go that far.
That's actually literally what you said.
Wow.
No.
You said, I thought it was
And I
Joan.
used to love
Joan's a girl.
Chris.
I don't view Joan as a girl. I view her as a news person.
There you go.
Good out.
Yeah.
Well done,
like
Chris
that?
Ann.
Yeah.
All right, so we had a little bit of controversy on the show earlier. I was in the middle. Let me see if I can find it. I was in the middle of a segment, and I get a text message from Murphy, and he's telling me that I am mishearing and misrepresenting a soundbite that I was playing. So I want to find the darn thing. We were talking about what is going on in Chicago, and there is a woman, and I was playing her audio, and she said something. I got to find it. This is what happens when I can't see.
Yeah, I mean, even in big cities like Chicago that have become so woke, I mean, they're getting sick to death. I mean, and I think the reason that Eric Adams is responding, at least in part in the way that he is in New York City, is because his citizens are sick of it. They recognize that they're putting the illegal alien criminals ahead of the citizens of the city of New York, Chicago the same way.
Well, and Eric Adams he's hearing his residents and he's reacting. And Mayor Johnson in Chicago is not doing any of that, so he's hearing from his residents because he's not reacting.
So what does this woman say? I want to hear from Joan, Johnny, Chris, Matt, and I have a slight disagreement.
Chicago wins. We not playing.
So I'm hearing her, and I'm hearing we got plans.
Now Chicago wins. We not playing.
We're not playing.
Yeah, we not playing.
We not play.
Yeah, I sort of gave it some grammatical reference. Sorry.
Chicago red. We not playing.
Chicago wins. We not playing.
And I think she's saying real. I don't think she's saying red.
Chicago wins. We not playing.
Red. That's right.
I think she's saying
Chicago
listen
red.
to the L at the end of it.
Yeah.
Chicago
Listen to the
red.
L at the end of it.
Chicago wins. We not playing.
Yeah, she's saying real.
No, man, just saying
said
flip
red.
Chicago.
You honestly believe that woman is a Republican and is going to vote Republican?
She was going full MAGA.
No,
she was
she's not saying flip
No,
Republican.
you got to listen to the whole clip.
Listen to red. Listen to the red.
Full MAGA.
All right, hold on. I'm going to play the entire quote, and then we can see.
You said you're going to spend our tax dollars to take some support to protect these illegals if they're trying to come in your district. And then you said that all of y'all in cahoots with each other to do it. Okay, so now we about to make y'all famous. We're going to let all y'all constituents know who y'all bragging for. That y'all wouldn't spend our tax dollars to protect illegals and to get them legal services. So, that's what we're doing. That's cool because we about to make all of y'all all in this famous. Chicago wins. We not playing.
I love it. She's dark MAGA.
Chris.
What?
Gosh. His name is Chris. You can write the studio at WTN.
Elon Musk, Dog MAGA. Yeah, I get
No,
it.
I totally get it.
So whether or not it's red or real, I think it's real, but whether or not it's red or real, I think she's saying we're not playing.
By the way, have you guys...
I think we can all confirm that the playing has ceased in Chicago.
I also love how she told the mayor. She said, you were all for defunding the police. So why don't we defund the police escort that you have? Get rid of all those guys. We'll save money that way.
Absolutely.
Power to her.
All right, so
Waking up. America's waking up.
have you, Chris and Matt, heard about the orgy that was going on at the VA Center in Johnson City, Tennessee?
Yeah, well, I think we need to ask Murphy about the lack of a vetting process before we gave him the afternoon gig.
I had no idea that you guys got this body on Gang of Four Amigos.
Oh, yeah.
Joan is here to elevate the conversation. My goodness.
Well,
Mommy, what's an orgy?
I'm all in for this conversation. This is incredible.
several top Veterans Affairs officials in Tennessee resigned as an internal investigation and a broader congressional probe into alleged sexual misconduct intensified.
Well, it is Johnson City.
You know what they say about Johnson City, Dan?
What?
I don't know. I don't know anything about
It's
Johnson
appropriately
City.
named.
Moving right along, as I've heard somebody else say.
Here's what's funny.
Want to see my Johnson City?
Whoa.
Boy, speaking of body,
It's a metro, let me tell you.
Welcome to Johnson City. There's more than one.
so the funny thing is, Johnny made that joke at the 5:35, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, Joan lost it either.
Yeah, I'm like, Johnny, what did you say? And they're both telling me to move on because she didn't want to explain it on the air. And I'm like, I don't. What at Johnson City? I don't understand the joke. And Joan and Johnny are begging me to move on. And of course, you know what I do. I just
Linger.
Yeah.
You're a lingerer.
So what I miss? What did it mean?
I know, and everybody, of course, on the super text line is ridiculing me for not understanding the joke. And then,
So what's going on in Johnson City?
So there's a guy who is a biomedical employee, and he had dozens of sexual relationships with women who worked at the Mountain Home VA Medical Center in Eastern Tennessee. And matter of fact, this dude slept with no fewer than 32 women who worked at the facility. So one guy has slept with 32 women.
But is that an orgy, or is that
No,
just
no,
a
no,
little,
no.
is that just a little bit of a big pun? I'm not a player. I just crush a lot. Is that what we're dealing with here?
What did you just say?
Big pun. You don't know big pun?
I mean, this reminds me. Does anybody remember the old Dan Aykroyd? Dan Garvin, male prostitute. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
Back on Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
That's what it's reminding me of.
Yeah.
You know?
So my early 2000s reference, way over everybody's head. Let's go back to the 70s. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Hey, I just want to clear it up.
You got to know the crowd, Chris.
Fair enough.
Now, they did have, they say, an orgy as the investigation continued. They uncovered that an orgy of at least 12 officials. So these aren't like the nurses and the candy stripers. These are like people that are higher up.
This is an official orgy.
This is an official orgy.
Management orgy?
That's what it was. An official management orgy.
Mountain Home VA, where it's hands-on treatment.
Checking your credentials at the door.
They say it is unclear at this time whether the orgy happened on government property at the VA facility or off-site, but the mere fact that a dozen of the government workers employed there did this, they say, is astounding.
If it's on site, what's the crime? What's the crime?
What are we doing here? If it's off-site, just some grown people having some grown people time.
I want to know, I am dying to know what this one guy, you know, your morals are going south. The longer your hair gets, the more wretched you become. You probably smoke dope too, don't you?
David Allen Coe of Talk Radio.
And David Allen Coe wrote a song about this Johnson City story.
Yeah, he sure did.
He sure did. Cowboys stay in the saddle just a little bit.
Yeah, Lord Divers do it.
Well, this guy that apparently slept with 32 different women, he puts the Johnson in Johnson City.
Johnson lots of places.
Was that funny?
It's my understanding that Johnson City pardoned a bunch of turkeys.
Don't go there, please.
Had a wedge in there somehow.
I knew you had to. I knew Murphy came on with one agenda, and that was to make a reference to my bad joke.
Murphy, why are you sticking around? No reason.
I told Dan yesterday, we talked offline. I told Dan yesterday, I said, I love the way you work a joke. You remind me of David Letterman working a joke. David Letterman back in the day, David Letterman used to be a talk show host late at night. So David Letterman back in the day would tell a joke and it wouldn't land like he wanted it to land, and he would revisit that joke. He could revisit a joke and revisit it, and then it just became funny the amount of times that he was revisiting the joke.
Yeah.
Canned hams comes to mind.
Yeah.
Canned hams?
Yeah.
Oh, he was a big fan of canned hams. He gave out canned hams.
Yeah, you used to call them big ass hands.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Canned ham. Why would anybody give out canned ham?
Ratings, baby.
Yeah.
Ratings.
Okay. That's kind of funny.
What did he call them? What did he call the canned hams?
Big ass hands.
It's funny. That's one of the requirements for the orgies at the
Nice one.
That's a good
Very good, Chris. I mean, I thought my Johnson City joke was better, but the Johnson in Johnson City, I thought my joke was better. But
Weren't you just kind of retelling Johnny's joke, though?
no, not really. It was a different. It was like Johnny joke adjacent.
You were like Johnny's wingman.
Sure. Like every morning.
Johnny, have you guys ever been to Johnson City?
Johnny's broken wingman.
Joke appropriation.
You're joke appropriating.
That's exactly what I'm doing. How many? Can I ask this question? And Johnny, you could probably answer this question. How many people are required for an official orgy? Like is it 12?
Johnny, why would you know that?
Yeah, every time we ask about drugs, booze, or orgies, let's ask Johnny. Well, you bet Johnny knows this one.
Little known fact, Joan is really the aficionado. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm just curious because, orgies, I picture more than 12. That may be like orgy adjacent. Let me just say, Dan, I have none.
Dan, I think the only way you can classify an orgy is you have to watch where you step.
Okay.
And how many thank you notes you have to make out.
Or apologies.
If you have to worry about stepping on a human body, you're in the midst of an orgy.
Yes. And then Joan said, or apologies.
Yes. Thank you notes or apologies. Or both.
I sincerely apologize for stomping on it. I truly hope it was your leg.
All right, so anyway, this went well.
Yeah, sure did.
There are also accusations of sexual harassment, sexual assault, and improper interpersonal relationships.
Is that there or here?
All of the above.
So is someone getting, I mean, back to the serious nature of this, is someone getting charged?
No, they're doing an investigation.
I mean, because maybe you fire people, but I mean, if it didn't happen on company property.
Well, I think the problem was they went on social media and were talking about it. Yeah, I think that's where the problem was.
They say that
First rule about the VA orgies, you don't talk about the VA orgies.
No, you keep that between you, among friends.
The man and several of the women bragged about their exploits on an online group forum on a government communication portal that VA officials use to communicate about veteran health care and facility operations.
Don't worry about that guy's hip. Let me tell you what we did last night.
I'm just imagining that thread. Hey, I was a part of an orgy. Well, how many people were there? I'm not so sure.
Let's ask Johnny.
How many people make an actual orgy? Let's go to the phones. I don't know if they. I'm looking for any kind of charges. I don't know. I'm fascinated by two things. Number one, this guy that slept with 32 women. I want to know what he looks like. Like how does this guy?
The better question is, what do the women look like?
Everything's relative. Everything's relative.
You know what? If you lower your standards like to none, I guess whatever. But
One man's 4 can be another man's 10.
I also
Or the opposite of that. No matter how good she looks, somebody's tired of taking her lip.
I also don't understand.
It depends on how drunk they are.
I also don't understand, like, all of these, moving along.
So you want to know? You
I
want
went
to
to
know?
bed at 2 with a 10, woke up at 10 with a 2. I've never gone to bed with an ugly woman, but I sure woke up with a few.
You've read my mail.
So you want to know what the guy looks like?
Yeah.
And the other thing that you're dying to know.
How is it all these women, like, hey, did you sleep with him? Yeah, I slept with him. Did you sleep with him? They're all talking about this. Like, you would think that they would be, like, competitive or whatever. It's almost like they were sleeping with this dude for sport.
Okay, so do you know what an orgy is?
No, these were. Yes, I do. Right. Johnny explained it to me.
Isn't that the definition of what?
No.
He said, Johnny explained it.
He's sleeping with this guy for sport.
He slept with not all in one orgy. This was 32 different times with 32 different women. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
But does it explain that it was at one time or multiple times or 32 times?
32 different women.
It feels like there's 2 stories here.
No. There's 2 stories. One, the dude slept with possibly more than 32 women. That's number one, at different times. That's not during one big orgy. And then there's the orgy story, where there were apparently at least 12. So I don't know what the guy-to-girl
The
ratio
orgy
was.
was adjacent to the 32.
Yes, it's 2 separate situations. I mean,
But he's the only mention of any males.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, like
One guy.
I have a feeling that they're having a penicillin shortage out there in Johnson City at the VA because that's apparently what you use to, like, get rid of
You didn't have to go on and explain it.
Yeah, but apparently they're not running ED commercials.
Not for that fellow.
Not in Johnson City. Not in Johnson City.
I don't know whether to be disgusted by this or admire the guy.
Or both.
Or both. There you go.
I mean, at some point, it becomes way too pressure laden. If you know what I'm saying.
I do know what you're saying.
And by the way, Dan, some guy, I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of these guys. I don't think any of us are these guys. Some guys got game. I mean, I guess.
I guess.
If that's what you're looking for.